Welcome to the TOEFL Listening section. In this part, you will hear one or more conversations in an academic or campus context, such as a discussion between a student and a professor, or between two students. You may take notes while listening. Listen to part of a conversation. You will hear it only once, so listen carefully. After the conversation, you will answer questions about what you heard. Some questions will ask you about main ideas and details. Others will ask about implied meaning, speaker attitude, or how ideas relate to one another. Use both what is stated and what is implied to answer.
Good morning, Dr. Carter. Thanks for meeting with me. I wanted to discuss my thesis proposal on customer experience personalization for hotels.
Good morning, Daniel. That sounds promising. Tell me what angle you are taking on personalization.
I want to examine data-driven service customization across the guest journey, specifically how hotels use guest profiles, behavioral signals, and machine learning to tailor offers and in-stay experiences.
So you are focusing exclusively on personalization and not on pricing or operations. Good. Which stages of the guest journey will you include?
Pre-arrival messaging and amenity recommendations, in-stay adjustments like room preferences and staff prompts, and post-stay follow-up, including loyalty-driven communications. I plan to use case studies from chain hotels and a local boutique property.
That covers a useful range. Be sure to define the data sources you will analyze. What data do you think is most important for real-time personalization?
Property management system records and mobile app interaction logs are critical. The PMS gives reservation history and preferences, and the mobile app supplies real-time location and behavioral signals that allow in-stay adjustments.
Agreed. Also include point-of-sale and spa booking data. Behavioral data like time spent on certain pages can infer interests. How will you model preferences?
I plan to use a hybrid approach. Start with segmentation to create microsegments using clustering. Then apply supervised models to predict amenity uptake and collaborative filtering to recommend services based on similar guest profiles.
Hybrid models are sensible. Make sure to explain the personalization engine architecture. Hotels often need real-time orchestration. How would the engine act on a predicted preference?
The orchestration layer would trigger a sequence. For example, if a returning guest usually orders in-room breakfast and requests extra pillows, the system would push a pre-arrival message offering an express breakfast bundle and trigger housekeeping to place additional pillows before check-in.
Give a concrete case study in your thesis. In class, we discussed a chain that used pre-arrival emails and room profiles. What metrics should you use to measure success?
I was thinking guest satisfaction scores like Net Promoter Score, conversion rates for targeted offers, repeat booking rate, and average ancillary spend per stay. Also measure reduction in guest complaints related to missed preferences.
Those are appropriate. Include engagement metrics like email open and click rates and time to fulfill a personalized request. You must also address privacy and consent. How will you handle that ethically?
We will include explicit consent at booking and an easy preference center. Data minimization and anonymization will be applied where possible. I also want to test guest reactions to different levels of personalization to see where they feel comfortable.
Testing guest comfort is important. In the literature, there is a threshold where personalization feels helpful rather than intrusive. You should design A/B tests that vary personalization granularity.
I read a case where guests who received personalized pre-arrival messages opted into amenity offers 40% more often than those who got generic emails. That suggests a strong response, but I want to verify across segments.
That statistic is useful to motivate your hypothesis. But remember, it may differ by nationality, age, and travel purpose. Segment-level analysis will reveal those differences.
I will include segmentation by business versus leisure, loyalty tier, and geography. Another challenge is system integration. Many hotels have fragmented systems. How do you recommend addressing legacy system barriers?
Use middleware and APIs to create a unified guest profile. Create a master data layer that ingests PMS, CRM, POS, and mobile app streams. Real-time messaging requires event-driven architecture.
For modeling, I will need labeled outcomes. I plan to label historic records by whether a guest accepted an offer or gave a high satisfaction rating. Then use that to train predictive models.
Good. Include feature engineering such as length of stay, lead time, previous amenity uptake, room type history, and sentiment from reviews. Also analyze unstructured data, like guest notes and social mentions.
Sentiment analysis could reveal unmet needs. If a guest mentions noise in reviews, the system could proactively offer a quiet room on the next stay. That is a practical application of personalization driven by text analytics.
Exactly. But also plan for explainability. Staff must understand why the system recommends a particular action. A transparent rules layer alongside machine learning helps operations accept automated suggestions.
I will propose a hybrid deployment. The recommendation engine provides a ranked list and an explanation tag, and staff can approve actions. This preserves human oversight while benefiting from automation.
That is a strong design. Finally, consider long-term maintenance. Personalization models degrade as guest behavior changes. Include a retraining schedule and continuous monitoring of model drift.
Understood. I will propose monthly retraining and alerting when key metrics fall beyond thresholds. Thank you. This conversation clarifies the research design and ensures it stays tightly focused on customer experience personalization.
You have a clear plan. Draft a proposal that lists data sources, methods, privacy safeguards, evaluation metrics, and a case study plan. Then we will review it in our next meeting.
I will prepare that draft. Thanks for your guidance.
You are welcome. Good luck.
Listen again to part of the conversation, then answer the question.
I read a case where guests who received personalized pre-arrival messages opted into amenity offers 40% more often than those who got generic emails.
This concludes the conversation portion. For more TOEFL practice tests and study materials, visit Spinta.org.